Welcome back, truth seekers, to our channel where we unravel mysteries and challenge the narratives we've come to accept. Today, we embark on a journey that will shake the very foundations of history as we investigate a contentious question. Did the Titanic really sink as we've been led to believe, or is there more to this tragic tale? So buckle up, grab a life jacket of skepticism, and get ready for an intriguing investigation into the mystery surrounding the sinking of the Titanic. Are you willing to question everything you thought you knew? Let's embark on a voyage of exploration and solve the mysteries that lurk below the surface. Investigating the facts and prevailing myths surrounding the Titanic's sinking will be the first step. The luxurious Titanic, hailed as the unsinkable ship, was involved in a fatal collision with an iceberg in the chilly North Atlantic on that fateful night of April 14, 1912. Over 2,200 people were on board the ship at the time of its tragic sinking, including passengers and crew, costing over 1,500 lives. The story of this incident has been told countless times and has captured the attention of people all over the world. According to the widely accepted myth, the Titanic's demise was predetermined when it collided with the iceberg and suffered serious hull damage. The lack of lifeboats and insufficient evacuation procedures caused a tragic loss of life as the ship was flooded by icy waters. The world mourned the unfathomable loss of one of the worst maritime disasters in history as survivors were saved by the RMS Carpathia. But what if the story is more complex than first appears? What if the widely accepted conventional account is not entirely true? Is it possible that we've been missing a secret truth? These inquiries prompt us to investigate the contentious theory that casts doubt on the conventional wisdom regarding the sinking of the Titanic. How can we be sure we have the whole truth about what happened to the Titanic? Is it possible that some details were missed or omitted on purpose? Let's explore this enduring tragedy's mysteries in greater detail as we set out on a journey of discovery. According to the switch theory, the Olympic, not the Titanic, was the vessel that went down that fateful night. This theory holds that before the tragic voyage, the Olympic, which had previously sustained significant damage in a collision, was covertly switched with the Titanic. Proponents contend that the damaged Olympic was intentionally sunk in order to collect insurance money. There are many intriguing questions that this theory brings up. Why would the White Star Line take such extreme measures if the switch did occur? What would be the driving forces behind putting together such a sophisticated insurance scam? And is it possible that the Titanic actually had a completely different outcome? How likely is it that an insurance scam of this size, involving switching two enormous ships and misleading the public as well as the passengers, could have been carried out? The switch theory's proponents cite a number of pieces of proof to support their claims. They first draw attention to the Olympic's severe damage from an earlier collision. Economically speaking, it was deemed impractical to repair the ship. The White Star Line could potentially recover a sizable sum of money through insurance claims by switching the ships and sinking the damaged Olympic instead. Researchers have also carefully examined images of the Titanic taken prior to its departure. They contend that these images show minute differences, including misaligned portholes and other identifying characteristics that are incompatible with the Titanic's known design. Could these discrepancies be proof that the ship seen in the pictures was the Olympic? As we continue our investigation into the Titanic's mysterious fate, consider the evidence and anomalies presented in support of the switch theory. The eyewitness accounts and survivor testimonies are among the intriguing aspects of this theory. Some survivors, narrating events that don't seem to fit the official story, described confusion and chaos during the evacuation. They related incidents in which crew members either failed to launch lifeboats with full crews or appeared to be unfamiliar with the layout of the ship. Could the last-minute switch from the Olympic to the Titanic be to blame for this confusion? Along with eyewitness accounts, historians and researchers have closely examined numerous images and historical documents. A picture of the Titanic taken just before it sailed away is a noteworthy piece of proof. It displays what appear to be asymmetrical portholes, which was at odds with the Titanic's known layout. This makes it unclear whether the Olympic was the ship depicted in the picture. The absence of some distinctive Titanic features during its sinking is another anomaly that merits consideration. Numerous eyewitnesses, including both passengers and crew members, stated that they did not see the Titanic's name prominently displayed on the ship's bow or any other distinguishing features. There are questions about whether the Titanic actually sank or if the Olympic was mistaken for the Titanic due to this absence. Additionally, proponents of the switch theory contend that the damaged Olympic had a more compelling reason to engage in an insurance scam because the cost of repairs would have been high. The White Star Line was able to retain the value of the damaged ship while obtaining insurance for the ostensibly sunk Titanic by switching the ships. It's essential to remember that these facts and anomalies are open to interpretation and disagreement. In order to solve this century-old mystery, historians and specialists keep looking over and analyzing the information that is currently available. Can we confidently rule out a ship switch given the strong evidence and anomalies surrounding the Titanic's sinking? Could it be that the story we've grown accustomed to is merely a piece of a much bigger picture? Let's now focus on the eyewitness accounts and survivor testimonies that have surfaced, providing insight into the circumstances leading up to the Titanic's sinking and potentially undermining the widely accepted theory. Several Titanic survivors gave gruesome and occasionally contradictory accounts of what happened that night. Some accounts of the evacuation process painted chaotic and disorganized scenes, raising concerns about the crew's organization and readiness. Eyewitnesses described instances in which crew members who seemed to be unfamiliar with the layout of the ship or with insufficient passengers launched lifeboats. These witness accounts raise the possibility that the evacuation wasn't as easy as we've been led to believe. In addition, there were reports of strange events that appeared to contradict the official account. For instance, some survivors claimed to have witnessed enigmatic men commanding and directing crew members during the evacuation. These accounts have increased the possibility that people with ulterior motives may have been involved, supporting the idea that the switch theory has a secret agenda. Inconsistencies have also been found in the accounts of the sinking itself. Several survivors brought up the fact that the Titanic's recognizable features weren't present during the disaster. They claimed to have missed the ship's name being prominently displayed on its bow, as well as other distinguishing characteristics. These discrepancies cast doubt on whether the ship that sank was really the Titanic or whether it might have actually been the Olympic posing as its sister ship. It's crucial to recognize that the traumatic events of that evening, along with the passage of time, may have influenced how accurately each person remembers what happened. Due to its subjectivity, memory is subject to mistakes and misinterpretations. However, the cumulative impact of these eyewitness accounts and survivor testimonies poses a challenging question to the conventional wisdom. How can we determine the actual course of events when multiple eyewitnesses are reliving the same events but giving conflicting details and inconsistencies in their testimonies? Could these differences be the result of a larger plot or just the chaos and confusion that come along with a disaster of this magnitude? It is obvious that the story of the Titanic sinking may be much more complicated than first thought as historians and researchers continue to examine and interpret these first-hand accounts. By looking at these stories, we can gain new insights and perhaps learn more about what happened to the tragic ship. Even though the evidence is strong, it's important to recognize that the switch theory is still up for debate. Experts in the field and historians are still debating whether it is true. We might someday learn the truth about this century-old mystery as archival researchers delve deeper into the records. The astounding investigation into the fate of the Titanic is now complete. How do you feel about the switch theory? Do you think the Titanic actually sank, or could it have been one of the most complex cover-ups in history? Tell us in the comments section below. Remember to subscribe to our channel if you want to see more engrossing content like this. Keep asking questions, looking into things, and looking for the truth until next time.